At the beginning of the story, we see a prison built on a deserted island. Today, new prisoners were being brought to this prison, one of whom was Edmund. When he met the warden, Edmund said, "Sir, help me. I haven't done anything wrong. I've been sent here on false charges." The warden calmly replied, "I know. If you had done something, you would have been sent to a jail within the country. Only those against whom a conspiracy has been made are brought to this remote prison." After that, the warden beat him badly and then locked him in a prison cell that had a wooden door and a small window. This door opened only once a year, when the warden came to beat them for no reason. Time kept passing, and Edmund became very disturbed from being locked alone in the cell. He had written on the wall, asking God to give him justice. But over time, when he realized he had no control over the situation, he started feeling deeply sad. After spending 12 years in that prison, he even lost his faith in God. He thought he would be locked there for the rest of his life. But then one day, suddenly, the floor of his cell started to rise. This strange event shocked Edmund. He felt like a ghost had appeared in front of him. After being scared for a while, Edmund saw a man coming out from under the ground. The man was Abbé Faria, a prisoner from the floor below. He had been digging a tunnel for the last 5 years. By a twist of fate, the tunnel opened up into Edmund's room, as if it were a sign from God. With Abbe's arrival, Edmund finally got someone to talk to, as he had been going mad from being locked alone for so long. After that, Abbe excitedly invited Edmund to his cell. Edmund felt very happy that he wouldn't have to spend his time scratching marks on the wall with stones anymore. When Edmund entered Abbe's room, he was surprised by what he saw. Abbe's cell was nothing like the others. It looked like a decent hotel. There were chairs for comfort, and countless books were lying on the shelves. Abbe promised Edmund that if he helped him dig the tunnel, he would teach him during their remaining time. Edmund didn't have anything else to do anyway, so he immediately agreed. Just as they were about to start digging, they heard the sound of a guard's footsteps. Trembling with fear, Edmund quickly ran back to his cell and prepared the garbage basket, because the guard was about to arrive on his floor. In this prison, the cell door opened only twice, once to collect the garbage and once to serve dinner. Besides that, the rest of the day was free, which gave them plenty of time to dig the tunnel without worrying about getting caught. After that, Abbe cut a small bunch of his hair. He struck a stone to create a spark, lit the hair, and then lit a candle. Then somehow they both entered the tunnel and continued digging forward. There was very little space below, so digging wasn't easy. Abbe estimated that if they kept working at this pace, it would take at least 3 more years to reach the outside world. One day, while resting, Edmund learned from one of Abbe's books that Abbe was once a very skilled swordsman. After that, Edmund became stubborn and said that if Abbe didn't teach him swordsmanship, he would stop digging the tunnel. Edmund now had only one goal in life, to take revenge on his enemies. After listening to him, Abbe agreed and got ready to teach Edmund the skill of fighting. Abbe began explaining that speed is a warrior's greatest strength. He thought of teaching Edmund a lesson using the water drops falling in the room. Standing by the edge of the dripping water, he passed his hand through so quickly that it didn't even get wet. He said, "The day your hands become this fast, you'll become a capable warrior." After that, Abbe went back to digging, and Edmund continued practicing. A few days later, Abbe broke the wooden planks from the door and made a fake sword. He then began teaching Edmund swordsmanship properly. When the sword training was over, Edmund would focus on studying. Now, his whole day was spent studying, digging, and practicing swordsmanship. After a few months, Edmund's swordsmanship improved a lot. Now, Abbe started to notice that Edmund had become an even better swordsman than him. One evening, during a conversation, Edmund found out that Abbe once worked for a very wealthy family named Stadia. His master had earned a huge fortune, and now Napoleon had imprisoned Abbe to find out where the treasure was hidden. Hearing this, Edmund became very angry, because he too had once supported Napoleon. Both of them had been locked away because of betrayal. Day by day, their tunnel digging was bringing them closer to freedom. One day, they saw plant roots in the tunnel, which made Abbe realize they were very close to reaching the surface. Knowing this, both of them became very happy. But soon, something happened that turned their happiness into sorrow. The tunnel suddenly started shaking, and with a loud noise, many stones and soil fell on them, burying Abbe underneath. Panicked, Edmund quickly removed the stones and pulled Abbe out. It turned out they had been digging in the wrong direction. They must have made a mistake while digging the tunnel, as even a food box had fallen down from above. Abbe was badly injured when a heavy stone hit his chest. Because of the damage to his lungs, he could die at any moment. In his final moments, Abbe weakly told Edmund that there was a book under a stone in his room. Something was hidden beneath that book too. Edmund found the same treasure map for which Abbe had been imprisoned. He was shocked to see it. Abbe made him promise to always always use the treasure for good, and to stay away from bad deeds as much as possible, Edmund promised, and Abbe died shortly after that. Edmund had tears in his eyes, feeling that he was alone once again. Just then, the guard came to deliver food. Edmund hid behind the wall. The guard called out, but there was no response. When he came inside to check and saw Abbe's dead body, he panicked and rushed to report it to his superiors. Edmund quickly sealed the tunnel's entrance and returned to his cell. After some time, the guard returned with some of his companions and placed Abbe's body in a body bag. Edmund was hiding in the tunnel, waiting for them to leave. As soon as the guards left, Edmund quietly entered the room. He looked at Abbe's corpse, and while staring at it, an idea came to his mind. He quickly swapped Abbe's body with himself. After some time, the warden arrived with his men to collect the body. Since the prison was on a deserted island, they decided it was best to throw the body into the sea. Meanwhile, a guard went to Edmund's cell with food, but when no one responded, even after knocking repeatedly, he became suspicious. He opened the door and went inside, but instead of Edmund, he found Abbe's body there. The guard then shouted and went to call the warden. The warden wanted to finish the task quickly, and that day strong winds were blowing. The sea waves were crashing against the rocks, making it hard to hear anything. While the warden was trying to listen to the guards, Edmund suddenly stole the warden's keys. The shock of it caused the warden to fall into the sea along with Edmund. As soon as he hit the water, Edmund quickly used the keys to free himself. When he swam to the surface, he looked back at the warden. Years of anger boiled inside him, and he brutally drowned the warden in the sea, killing him. After that, he kept swimming far out into the ocean without looking back. The next morning, when Edmund woke up, he was on an island. He didn't know how he had survived or reached there. Even he couldn't understand how he was still alive. But he wasn't free yet. A group of pirates was sitting nearby, calmly watching him. Edmund thought he was going to be killed. But the leader of the pirates, Luigi, gave him a chance. He said he would let Edmund live on one condition. Edmund would have to fight his traitor friend Jacob, whom they were going to bury alive anyway. If Jacob won, he could rejoin the pirate crew, and they would kill Edmund. If he won, he would be set free. Soon, the fight between the two began. Jacob was very skilled in swordsmanship, but Edmund's technique, learned from Abbe, was extremely powerful. Despite several attacks, Jacob couldn't even touch Edmund. As soon as he got an opportunity, Edmund struck quickly and knocked Jacob down. But instead of killing him, Edmund turned to Luigi and said, "Look, both of us can work for you. We are useful men. Why kill us for no reason? It's not easy to find good pirates." Seeing Edmund's skill and kindness, Luigi was pleased and spared both their lives. During a conversation on the ship, Edmund told the captain his whole story. After hearing it, the captain freed Edmund so he could fulfill his purpose of revenge. Jacob joined hands with Edmund. Since Edmund had saved his life, Jacob promised that he would always remain loyal to him. Edmund asked Jacob to arrange a boat. Edmund then quietly went to his old master's house late at night, but everything had changed. The old master didn't even recognize him. He found out that his father had died of grief after Edmund's imprisonment. Edmund was deeply shocked by this news, but the biggest blow came when he learned that his old friend Montague had framed him and had married his fiancée, Mercedes. The next day, Edmund and Jacob set off for the island where the treasure was marked on the map. They searched every inch of the island but couldn't find the treasure. Then Edmund thought there might be something under the water. He dived into an underground pond near the spot shown on the map. There, he discovered several old chests. As soon as he opened one of them, he saw glittering gold. Jacob jumped with joy and filled the boat with as much gold as they could carry. But to take all the treasure, they needed a big ship, and Edmund had no idea how to get one. More than happiness, he was now filled with the fire of revenge. He decided this wealth would be used for only one purpose: revenge. To start, Edmund bought a big luxurious house and presented himself as the new nobleman of France. He invited all the surrounding noblemen to a grand party in his magnificent mansion. Soon, his royal style and luxury made him famous. Everyone was talking about him. But in reality, Edmund was doing all this to catch the attention of his treacherous friend Montague. Montague did come to the party, but left without speaking to him. Meanwhile, Jacob informed Edmund that Montague had a son named Albert. So, Edmund, along with a beautiful woman and some of his robber friends, staged a fake kidnapping of Albert, just so Edmund could appear as his savior. The plan worked. Albert thought this nobleman had saved his life. Grateful, Albert invited Edmund to his upcoming birthday party and requested him to attend. Edmund pretended to hesitate, but finally agreed. At the party, Albert introduced his father Montague to Edmund. After 13 years, they stood face to face. But Montague didn't recognize him. Edmund's appearance had changed completely. However, when Mercedes saw him, she had a strange feeling. She couldn't recognize him at first, but when Edmund touched and twisted her hair in a special way, something only he used to do, she immediately realized who he was. it was Edmund's old habit. Edmund knew that Montague was desperate for money, so he lied to him, saying that he had found a huge treasure and a ship was bringing 100 kilograms of gold the next day. He also asked Magistrate Wilford to clear all legal hurdles so there would be no police problems. But Wilford was a corrupt magistrate who had full control over the local police. After hearing Edmund's words, he made a plan with Montague. They decided to steal Edmund's treasure before it reached him, and keep all the gold for themselves. Montague said he knew someone who could help them. In fact, these three men were the same people who had framed Edmund years ago and sent him to prison. And now, Edmund had deliberately brought them all together. After the party, Mercedes sneaked into Edmund's carriage. Crying, she told him that Montague had lied to her. He told her Edmund was hanged. Edmund feared this truth might ruin his entire plan for revenge. That's why he told Mercedes to leave for now. Then we see that Edmund's ship had been robbed, and it was done by Montague's man. This same man was also one of those responsible for sending Edmund to jail. Edmund burned with the desire for revenge. The man thought he had robbed the ship easily, but soon the guards arrived and captured him. He tried to escape, but Edmund showed up. The man tried to fight, but Edmund threw a noose around his neck. Before killing him, Edmund revealed his true identity, so the man would know exactly why he was dying and for what crime. Now, Edmund's next target was Magistrate Wilford. Years ago, this same magistrate had framed Edmund in the matter of Napoleon's letter. Ironically, the magistrate's father had been a supporter of Napoleon, but in his thirst for power, Wilford had his own father killed and blamed Edmund for the crime, which led to his imprisonment. This time, Edmund cleverly made Wilford confess everything during a conversation. Wilford admitted it all, thinking Edmund had no proof. But what he didn't know was that the police were already in the room, listening to everything. They arrested Wilford on the spot. Meanwhile, Montague, now bankrupt, was preparing to run away. But Mercedes refused to go with him. She told him that Albert is not his son, but Edmund's. When Montague married Mercedes, she was already pregnant. That was the reason she agreed to marry him. Montague shouted in anger, but couldn't change anything. He rushed to the fort where he had hidden all the stolen treasure. But when he opened the chests, they were filled with sand. In the last chest, he found only a small chess piece, which he gave to Edmund. At that very moment, Edmund appeared. Montague now knew the truth. Enraged, he attacked Edmund with a sword. But Montague was no match for him. Edmund easily disarmed him and pinned him to the wall. Just as Edmund was about to deliver the final blow, Albert stepped in and said he wouldn't let his father die like this. Montague used the moment to secretly load bullets and gunpowder into a hidden gun. Then Mercedes came running and stopped Edmund. She told him the truth, that Albert was actually his son. Edmund was shocked. Just then, Montague aimed the gun at Edmund, but Jacob, acting fast, threw a knife with lightning speed. The bullet missed Edmund but hit Mercedes in the shoulder. Montague used the distraction to escape. Edmund chased him. Montague got on his horse and charged at him. Edmund's sword fell, and for a moment, Montague seemed to have the upper hand. But in the end, Edmund managed to knock Montague down and strike him fatally. Montague died on the spot. After his burning fire of revenge finally cooled down, Edmund, along with his wife and son, went back to the island where he had spent 13 years of his life. There, he remembered his mentor, Abbé Faria. In the end, he bought the island, so that no one would have to suffer the pain he went through. If you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.